Awesome. Okay, well, it looks like we're up and running. You guys can hear me and see my screen. So let's go ahead and get started. As always, I need to remind you about the risks involved in this market. You can lose all or more than your initial investment if you're not careful. So please be aware of how many pips you're risking on each trade, in addition to how big your lot size is and ultimately how that would affect your account if you were to lose money. So make sure that you're going through that process each and every time that you take a trade. All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the scanner. I didn't do this last night. But I wanted to do this now. What we'll do is let's take a look at the scanner. Let's take a look at the difference in signals. Um, if there's been a few different signals that have been added to the scanner as far as sentiment goes, and we can look at those differences and compare and contrast, and you can decide if you want to get into some extra trades here. Um, okay, so yeah, most of this is the same. There's like if you look at the post from if you look at the post here from Sunday, we got the Euro Yen strong sell, NZD CAD strong sell, US oil strong sell, CAD Yen strong buy, Euro Kiwi strong buy, NAS 100 strong buy. Um, and I don't know if any have been added. No, these are all the same. Um, the only thing, there's been a few that have come off, like the Euro Yen. That is a neutral signal at the moment. Let's see. Let me see if I need to see if I am still in this trade from yesterday. Let me take a look here. One second, guys. Let me pull up my portfolio because I've got some trades in, some trades out. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm still in the Euro Yen. Obviously, that one's actually profitable. The Euro Kiwi is a strong buy. Yeah, that's true. On my weekly trades, I did get stopped out of the CAD yen. Um, like just the bread and butter strategy, I did get stopped out of that one. So if you got stopped out of the CAD yen, then that should be normal. Um, but my Euro CAD long, my Aussie yen long, and Euro yen sell, those are all still active and doing their thing. Yeah, Aussie yen was added. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Aussie yen was added. And it's not showing up at the moment. Oh, it's because of sentiments loading right now. Yeah, so we got to get that to load up here. What I'd like to do today, we didn't get to do this yesterday, just because we had a lot of other things to do. But I'd like to spend some time looking for some price action setups. Um, Obviously, we love to talk about the scanner, and we'll continue to talk about the scanner throughout the webinar, but we need to get into looking. We need to post some extra trades. So let's actually head over to the charts. And I'm just going to kind of look at the signals for the week. We're going to start from the scanner, use that as a reference, as a direction, and then what we'll do is look for price action, look for order blocks, places of interest where we could get into a trade potentially. So let's start with the NZD CAD, and let's pull up the charts. Um, yeah, let's start over here. Okay, cool. And what did I say? This is a NZD CAD is a strong sell this week. And so far so good actually on this. This is actually come down from where we started the week. Um, so this is a strong sell. Let's talk about why. So this is a strong sell because of, I'm just looking at it over here. There's a weekly negative shift and the sentiment is a strong sell right now. Okay. So that's good info. So this is where we started the week on the NZD CAD. It looks like it did indeed come up and tag some of this liquidity right here. That was kind of nice yesterday or last night. Um, and so I'm just looking for places like that to sell if we can find a pretty good place to do it. Obviously, we're gonna try to take advantage of that. Now, I do want to see if there's some demand below this. If there's demand down here, that might have me a little bit anxious about selling. Um, but let's take a look. Let's see where the demand is. Well, okay, so I just turned on Sonar Lab. Sonar Lab has several blocks down here. Let's turn on the order block detector. Okay, they're down here. How about smart money? Only sell blocks up here. Okay, that's good info. Let's find out why. So on this 15-minute chart, there's a plethora of order blocks, demand blocks right here, which is interesting. I think that's interesting because there's not a lot of demand right here, right? They're all kind of down nestled in this area, which usually tells me the banks have their eyes set on getting back down there, and they have not yet gotten back down there. Let's again, like I'm gonna go back and see if I can find out why. Oh yeah, here's why. Okay, so here, let's turn off the weekend indicator. We don't need that right now. But this is it. So this whatever happened in this area is ultimately what created this massive breakout that ultimately led to a new trend right there. And it broke structures right here. So obviously that's going to be a demand zone because whatever took place down here is ultimately what created that move, right? So this is going to be demand. So I'm not really looking to buy right now. The reason why I'm doing this analysis is because I want to find out, I want to go back and see if there's anything that would obstruct our sell order. Okay. Now, can you buy this? Absolutely. There's going to be a potential to buy this if it goes lower. But it's not until down here where you get those great buy opportunities. But as far as a sell goes, so now if I come back over here, I don't see any real strong reason why the market should stop here and make a long-term layup to the upside. Why would it make an utter reversal right there? See what we're doing? Like we're trying to find out like what areas would cause such a massive reversal, and is this one of those proposed areas? Is it possible that we get a nice big launch to the upside from here? I don't believe it, right? I don't see why you would get a big move just out of here, because that's my big worry about selling, right? Is if I'm going to sell, why would I sell? Why would I sell, at this support here if this support has a lot of demand? And the thing is, it doesn't. There's a little bit of something going on right here. Okay, sure, I'll give you that. But from the indicators that we have, it appears that most of the demand is down in here. So my thought process is this, guys. So if the scanner tells us to sell, it's a strong sell for the week. What's the likelihood of the market at some point this week getting back down into these areas? I would say great. I say that's the likelihood is great. Highly likely that the market does try to get down into these areas, and that's the profit potential that we have. So we're just going to try to get into orders on this NZD CAD, and we'll look at other pairs today too as well. This is not the only one we're going to look at, right? I just use the scanner to kind of develop a sense of direction, and then I take that process a step further by trying to find order blocks and entries that make sense with what the scanner is telling me. So let's measure this. So from where the current price of the market is down to this next block, there's at least 47, 48 pips to go. If you want to go down to some of these blocks down in here that are about midway through, um, there's 70 pips to go still. So there's actually quite a bit of profit potential that could be made on this NZD CAD, like 74 or 75 pips of potential. It could even go down into these. I'm not going to try to go down to those blocks down here or these blocks down here. I'm going to just try to go to this right here. So if I take a trade on this, we're going to go look at a few other pairs, but if I take a trade here, what this would look like is, here, now let's zoom in now that we know all this information. If I were to take a trade on the NZD CAD, couple of areas stand out, right? Like obviously if we can get a sell back up in there, that's ideal. If we could get a sell maybe up in this, that's not bad either, right? So a couple of options. You could sell here and then target right here. Okay, that one gives me about a 1 to 4. If I extend this out to here, I'm getting a little better than 1 to 2. Okay, obviously we don't like to take the 1 to 2s as much, but you know, If you can win a 1 to 2 consistently, that's an income right there. If we could get the market to come back up to this entry and do something like this, maybe like that's a really good RR ratio right there. If we can get that is the big question. But yeah, that's kind of, I don't see why the market would perch itself right here. When I say perch itself, I don't know why this would be a major support level. There's no reason why we should believe that, in my opinion. The big banks are going to try to attack this down here over time, and that's one of the reasons why I think we have a strong sell on the scanner this week is because this is where the banks are trying to go is down in here. Um, so, like I said, a couple of ways you could trade this. You could just take a sell right away at market. You could just sell at market and just see if you can get it down to there. You could do that. We might do that. Trying to figure out what I want to do here. I'm kind of mad. I'm kicking myself. I didn't post an entry right here. This would have been ideal. Last night, if I had posted a sell right in this little supply area, something like this with a stop, like right up here, I mean, we'd be well on our way. I mean, that would have been ideal. Absolutely ideal. But either way, so we'll probably come back to this one, guys. Like, let's put it this way. I'm gonna go look at the other signals that we have to look at. And if we don't get if we don't like the other setups, I'll go with this one. I like this one enough. I like that these types of setups I like because without this information, let's turn these off for a second. Without this information, most retail traders would look at this and say, well, let's buy right now. They would say, let's buy this right here. Let's put a stop loss and snug it up right just below this, that support level. And they'd say, let's ride this up as far as we can go. That's probably what most retail traders would do. Little do they know that there's a solid demand zone right down here on the higher time frame that hasn't been mitigated yet. So anything in between that support level and here is all liquidity. Okay. The market makers, they know there's stop losses in here. A lot of people have their, orders in here. They're going to try to wipe this out right in between. And they're going to go sneak in, sneak attack right down to here, and then it'll go up, right? That's probably what will happen, right? All you got to do is just, if I turn on Sonar Lab, yeah, it tells you where it is. It's right down here. And then the order block detector, yeah, has it as well. Like I said, I think I'm going to go right here for my target, somewhere in there. There we go. Let's turn these off again. So that's where it is. That's where the demand is on the higher time frames. So, if I were trading 11 years ago, 10 years ago when I first started, that's probably what I would have done. I would have said, put my stop loss somewhere below this pivot and, maybe a few pips off type of thing is the mentality of a retail trader. Let's just put a few pips off and let's see what happens, right? Well, it's just free liquidity for the banks to come and capture that. So I can almost tell you, I'm pretty confident the banks are going to go below this low. This is a pretty weak low right here. We're probably going to go below that. And when I say below that, not only go below, but we're probably going to go attack this and then come up. Okay, so anyway, I like this trade. I really do. Okay, let's delete that. There we go. Okay, so I'll leave that there. How can you get these indicators, Brandon? So they're free on TradingView. So I go to indicators on TradingView and I just search for, so here's where I get them. So I use the order block detector um, from LuxAlgo. You just search order block or just order detector from LuxAlgo. It's this one right now, right here. Almost 10,000, I guess over 9,000 people are using this. It's a pretty popular indicator. Okay. Order block detector. So write that down. And the other one is called order blocks. Um, let's see. Order blocks. Or actually, let's go by creator. So Sonar Lab creates this one. Sonar Lab. and the space dash space, and then it's order blocks with, yeah, here it is, order blocks with signals. And this one has over 7,000 users. It's a pretty popular one as well. So I like to use the different order blocks from the different indicators available. The reason why I like to use not just one order block indicator is because, not every indicator is going to capture all the order blocks. So what I like to do is get two or three different order block indicators to multi-layer on top of each other. So if you can get a cluster of order blocks stacked on top of each other, usually those areas of liquidity tend to be better than just a standalone order block, right? So let me show you and then we'll move on. I just wanted to show you this real quick. So if I turn this on again, um, order block detector and Sonar Lab, you can see there's kind of a overlap of order blocks right there. So that area seems to be a little bit better to me. Yeah. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, no, I'm glad it's helpful. It's pretty cool. So I like this trade, guys. We'll probably take this one unless I can find something better. So let's look at the next one. The euro yen is one of the sells this week. I know it's currently classified as a neutral signal on the scanner because of sentiment, but this is one of the best trades this week, nonetheless, right? So I am actively looking for sell opportunities on the euro yen. Um, and so I'm looking for places of liquidity. And I can already tell you right here, without even pulling up the order block indicators, there's probably some liquidity right there. Why right there? Because whatever happened right there is what ultimately broke this structure right here. And the market broke below that. So if I turn these on, let's see, do I get some order blocks up there? Well, they're saying this is an order block and this on Sonar Lab. Let's try the detector. Okay, this is kind of all over the place, actually. You've got order blocks in here, order blocks in here, and then you got some demand blocks in here. So this is actually quite confusing. This is not as conclusive as, say, the NZD CAD as we just looked at. Honestly, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I'm just going to move on. Honestly, I just want to move on to let's just get to the right stuff. Let's go take a look at the CAD yen. This is a strong buy this week. Oh, and this sucks. Dang it. So I had on my bread and butter trade, I stopped out on this one. That really stinks because I mean my modified martingale obviously still going because I don't use a stop loss on that strategy, but my bread and butter just, average daily range stop loss trades, that one already closed for me. And that kind of stinks because it looks like this dipped last night and then it came right back up. So that's one of the pros and cons. I guess one of the cons of using a stop loss, but I don't want to say that you shouldn't because I do use a stop loss with the bread and butter strategy, and that the bread and butter is just taking the weekly trades from the what I post on the weekend and from the scanner, and you just take each trade with an average daily range stop loss, hold them till Friday. That's it. That's the strategy. Um, and I have a lot of good trades still going on that, but it just stinks because this one would now be profitable or back to break even. It just had a detour last night, unfortunately. But this one, I'm looking for longs. It's too bad I didn't capture this because this actually came right down into a demand zone right here. Perfect little demand right there. Dipped right into it, and then it's off to the races. So, pretty cool little trade there. As far as looking for another entry on here, I suspect there's probably some demand right there. Let's see if that's the case. Sonolab has a block down here. No surprise there. Let's see. Okay, yeah, here's the detector. And they've got order blocks down here. Again, no surprise. And then there's a block right in here, they're saying. Um, I mean, it's potentially an opportunity. Like if this pulls back into, say this area, there's a potential to buy and then ride that up potentially. I'm not sold on it, to be honest. I'm just not sold on that opportunity. I really still, again, I'm liking that NZD CAD a little bit more. Um, but I could totally see this one break new highs. I could see this one coming up to here, busting right through that and trying to find some liquidity that's up here.
Hey traders, it's Steve from the future. I hope you have enjoyed this video so far. If you are getting value out of this video, be sure to hit the like button, click the subscribe button, and share your trading thoughts. I read all the comments, so feel free to ask any questions you have there too. On a side note, I host live trading calls like this one you are watching every day. Some of my biggest trading secrets I share exclusively to just the members in my program. I host these live trading calls every day, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern. I also host a basic training webinar every Monday for the newer traders and the regular COT report and sentiment trading webinars every Wednesday night at 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern for the advanced and aspiring traders. All of these calls are recorded and promptly posted on the members' trading calendars at the conclusion of each call in case your schedule does not permit you to come to the live call. All of my members have complete access to the scanner. We call it Steve Scanner. This is an institutional grade trade alert scanner that picks the direction of the week on all 28 major currency pairs and includes trading instruments like gold, silver, NAS 100, US 30. Just in the last 90 days, I have made over 3,000 pips just taking the top trade signals from the scanner at the beginning of the week and then just holding those trade alerts until Friday. If you want access to the scanner, you can start a 14-day free trial with the join link in the description to get started. Lastly, if you really want to be a full-fledged VIP member of my program to get access to things like the basic training course, live signals channel, Steve's scanner, trading calendars, and the one-on-one calls with me throughout the month, you can use code Friend of Steve, that's Friend of Steve, no spaces, at checkout and save $50 on your first month. Again, just click the link in the description below and apply that coupon to become a VIP member, and I look forward to helping you with your inevitable trading success going forward. Now, back to the video.
The fact that this thing, let's put it this way, guys, the fact that this CAD yen pulled back so quickly last night, but then immediately got bought up. What does that tell you? Like, let's read this. Let's actually read this market here. What's happening? The fact that this market's been going up so much and had a brief pullback last night, and it was like it spent practically no time down there. That means people and banks and institutions had orders last night, literally last night, had orders ready to go down here um, because they wanted to buy that badly. They were so interested in buying this that when this thing dipped, they were like, "Yep, I'm in. I'm taking that." Right? So that's not a good sign if you're a bear. Like if you're selling the CAD yen, it's not a great sign because that just tells you the banks just use that as an opportunity to get it back in and buy more. Had the market come down here and stayed down here, well, then the Bears have something to hang their hat on. I don't think they have something to hang their hat on right now because clearly that was very, very quick and it was, big to the upside last night. And the only reason why I think it would be slowing down right now is because it's reaching a level of resistance at the end of the day. We're at the end of the market day generally. This is, lunchtime New York, and the markets are never the same after lunchtime. Um, so so that's the only reason why this is paused. So if anything, guys, I will say this scanner signal looks really, really good for the week. I know it did get stopped out on my regular trade. I still have a few other accounts that have this open. Um, I think this is a place where you could make money this week just by that alone. Like the fact that the scanner says buy, strong buy, and the fact that, we just broke this down, the fact that this pulled back into this demand and immediately got sent back up um, kind of tells me that somehow, some way, we will probably work our way up the rest of the week. I don't know if it'll go back down. It could go down a little bit. But either way, I kind of suspect that that's going to go up. So just be aware of that. That's kind of how I would approach this market. I would not look at this and say, man, I'd like to go short. I That's probably how in fact, we know retail traders are doing that because when you look at the scanner on the CAD yen, let's do that real quick. Um, yeah, if you hover over this bar right here, 72% of retail traders are short on the CAD yen and only 28% are buyers. And as this continues higher, you'll probably see this short percentage number increase because retail traders are going to pile into more shorts. I would suggest you do the opposite, that we do the opposite. So I'm down to buy this, guys. But here's the thing. If we buy the CAD yen, that's almost the same thing as shorting the NZD CAD. Yeah, so that's good. Those are in alignment. And we know on that NZD CAD, there's like another 70 pips to go to the short side. Um, and it's good that this thing aligns with this because if this is a CAD yen and this is um, a buy signal and we have strong inclinations that way, not just from the scanner, but also from the chart itself. And then if you have the NZD CAD, which has got the CAD in it, it's just now the quote currency instead of the base currency. That would suggest that they are negatively correlated to some extent. So if the CAD yen goes up, the NZD CAD would go down. And that's exactly what our analysis says on that pair too. So this is good. We're starting to see um, starting to see some correlations that way. That's a good point, Brandon. So we're in the Euro CAD long as well. So um, one of those. So I would say, based off of what I can see here, I'd say NZD CAD and CAD yen are probably going to do better. Euro CAD may not. Um, we will see though. I'm I couldn't say for sure at the moment. Um, but it does seem like the NZD CAD and CAD yen seem to be aligning up better than even the Euro CAD. Yeah, that's a good point that you brought up there. Let's see. Lee says, I think there were a lot of traders that moved their stop losses up to take some profit in that area. The banks took them out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, these traders got wiped out with their stop losses last night. The traders who were long, and now I think the banks are just ready to take this up to the next level. So I'm down to take a trade here. We just need to find a good place to buy. That's the thing. You could buy now, but what if this pulls back a little bit? And if it does pull back a little bit, there might be a good area right there, and there might be a good area right here to buy if you can get it. If you can get that entry. Um, but yeah, we should be looking for this to continue to rally out of here the rest of the week. Let's also take a look at the Euro Kiwi. This is one of those other opportunities for us. This is a buy this week, strong buy. And let's pull up these order block indicators. And I actually don't have a ton of order blocks on here. I have several sell blocks up here. So I'm not interested in buying right away. There are some blocks down here that might be worth looking at. Let's try some higher time frames. Yeah, okay, this is kind of what I thought. So on the higher time frames, there are several blocks down here worth looking at. Um, and I'm kind of specifically focused on kind of this area right here. Let's see if yeah, that's kind of where I want to go. Is this? We'll see if the market can dip into that. Um, I'm not interested in buying right away on the Euro Kiwi, so I might leave this one alone. But if you guys see this dip into this area tonight, this is probably a good area down here. Yeah, Jim, I think the CAD yen is a good one to get back into. I'm trying to get us in on a specific entry, but so far I'm thinking I'm going to go with the NZD CAD instead, which is essentially the same trade, just in the opposite direction. Um, but I just kind of like the NZD CAD a little bit more and some of the way it's been lining up, the way it's been lining up. So I'm feeling that direction a little bit more than than the CAD yen, but the CAD yen's great too. Like it's pretty good. It's second best trade I've seen today. This one's not the best right now. It's kind of in no man's land, right? Like it's a buy signal, but it's around supply. So I'm not interested in it right now. But if it were to dip into here, guys, these are some buy opportunities down here on the Euro Kiwi. It is a strong buy this week. So if it does dip into there, that's going to be good. Okay, so based off of what I can see, let's head over to the NZD CAD. I think that's the one I kind of, like the most. Um, my area is down here. I'm trying to get us down to here. And so I might just have to get us in at a sell market because I may have missed the best opportunity to get in. So something like this would be the setup, and it would be just an at market trade. Um, I'm debating if I want to do an at market trade though, because I would love to just get the market to come back up and get me into a better entry. But again, that's kind of hard to do. Um, See, this wouldn't be bad if you could get this, something like that. And that kind of protects us a little bit. And that gives us a little bit better of an RR ratio if we can get it back up to there. And I do already have a sell on this going on right now because it was one of the trades this week to take. So I'm already invested into this no matter what. Um, yeah, I already have a trade going on, which is nice. I'm gonna do this, guys. So I am gonna do a limit order, just because I do already have a sell on this, but I'm gonna try to just see if we can just tap into this area right here. That I want this whole area because I know that that is a little bit of a bigger area, but I just don't know if it's gonna come up a little bit higher and kind of come back up into this. If it does, I want to give it some room, but ultimately I see that coming down to there. For, and if you missed the beginning of the webinar, or towards the beginning of when I did this analysis, I think that makes the most sense. Um, um, there's a lot of reasons why there there's no reason for this market to to stay here long term at this support level. It's really not a strong support level. We established that this area is not. This area is. This is a strong support level down here, and retail traders can't see that unless they pull up those order blocks. This is strong support. And so we want to, whatever we do, I think the markets will get here by Friday, down to here, maybe sooner. And that's what I'm trying to get at right there. So I'll let you guys, I'm going to post a limit order, but I will let you decide if you want to just get in right away. If you already have, most of you probably already have a trade set up. So that's kind of how I look at it is I already have interest in the NZD CAD sell already, but I do want to see if I can get just a slightly better price. Um, and I think our risk management is good. I mean, I wish it was a little bit better, but a 1 to 2.43 is not bad. I wish it was closer to 1 to 3, but we'll take it. I think this will be just fine. Yeah, so if you have any losing trades open, I usually keep like it's the same thing with the winning trades. Like if a trade hasn't hit its stop loss yet, I keep them open. If their stop loss hits, then obviously we're done for the week on that trade. We don't re-enter. Um, I mean, you're welcome to re-enter if you'd like, but I don't typically do that. Um, and then with the winning trades, obviously we don't close them until the end of the week. Yeah. But but it is up to you too. Like if you want to close out certain trades, you can do that. I mean, some people close out their winners early. So you're welcome to close if you would like. Um, but you're also like so a lot of people like last week we had a really good week last week, and so a lot of us, including myself, closed out of winning trades early. Now, when I say I closed out, I just booked half my position, and I did indeed close the rest of my trade um, on Friday, but I did close out partial positions during the week because we were up so much. And same thing with the week before. The week before was a really good week, so I booked some of my positions. And when I do that process, like when I do book half my positions on, say, like a Wednesday or something like that before a news event, um, it's the same thing with losing trades. If I have losing trades, let's say I'm having a winning week, but I do have a couple of losing trades, I will book half of the losing trades as well, not just half the winners, it's also half the losers. So it's just like cutting the entire portfolio in half by midweek and then leaving the rest of the trades to go the rest of the week. It's kind of how I've done that. That's a great question. Um, but I would leave them open if you put in an average daily range stop loss and you went through the process of using a lot size calculator. If you did all of that, then you shouldn't like have no fear. Like you should be set for the week. I mean, obviously, you don't want to have a losing trade, but you're not going to lose more than you're willing to lose because you already went through that process. I'm not sure how this week's going to turn out. We've had three winning weeks this week, this year so far. We haven't had a losing week yet. Um, we have had some losing trades, but we've also had some winning trades. So I don't know if this week's going to end profitable or not. We will find out. I'm hoping it is. Like if this NZD CAD can just fall through the floor, and if we can get the CAD yen to just shoot up, and if we can get like the Euro yen to sink, there's a recipe to have a really good week. But we need some things to really take off here pretty soon. Okay, so this is on the NZD CAD. This is going to be a short. This is going to be a sell limit order. For those of you that don't know what a sell limit is, um, a sell limit is basically a trade where you want to sell, but you want the market to go up first to get a better price. Once you get that better price, then the market will sell and it will happen automatically. You could be dropping your kids off at school and this could happen. You could be at the grocery store. Usually it happens to me while I'm asleep. Um, through the London session, if I have limit orders ready to go and buy stops and sell stops, it's the same thing. They're all pending orders, but the sell limit specifically is a trade that will trigger if the market goes up, and it will sell for you, take a short position, and then our hope is that the market then goes down from there, right? All right, so that's what I'm posting right now. You'll see this show up here on the Telegram in just a second. And for those of you that are new to the program, if you don't have access to Telegram, send me an email or a message, or if you have my phone number, you can text me. My phone number is actually on the website. If you guys didn't know that, it's actually just on the website. Um, my preferred method of communication is through Telegram, um, just because that's where I'm usually here working, and I can just text you guys that way. But there are other ways to communicate with me if you can't get a hold of me. Um, let's see, 0.82003, and by the way, I know some of you did message me yesterday. I had a crazy day yesterday. I had several appointments and things to get to, and I had an evening thing going on with my wife, and so today's my day to get back to everybody. So if you have sent me a message and I haven't gotten back to you, today's the day. I do apologize. I will get back to, I'm gonna, that's like my to-do thing that after I'm done is to clean the inbox out. Okay, so we have, let me double check my numbers here. So I have an entry at 0.82003. Okay, that's good. We're going to take profit at 0.81195. Yep. And we're going to stop out at 0.81195. Nope, that's not right. So I double check. 0.82 is where we want to go. 0.82336. Okay. 336. Okay, that looks good. I think we got it. Oh yes, I saw your Brandon. I saw your message, Brandon. Yeah, we'll get that Google Sheet shared with you. Um, I have a Google Sheet I share. I don't give out the one that specifically has the scanner information on it, but everything in regard to the COT report and some of the calculations we do with the COT report, I do provide. So I will get that to you and I'll share it with the group. Um, Lee says, I still have a pound yen buy limit pending. Should I delete it last night? It came pretty close to activating, but didn't. Let's see. This is from the trade from right Thursday. It's like Thursday or something like that. Yeah, I can see it. Oh, they already did pretty come pretty close last night. Um, I probably would delete it at this point, Lee. Let's delete that one. Um, let me actually text everybody on Telegram that we're deleting this trade. Um, yeah, it doesn't, there's no signal on this one right now. In fact, I believe it's a neutral signal. It's just loading right now. I do apologize, guys. I'm working on the scanner to, it's taking a while to load some of the sentiment data. This happens every once in a while. So I do apologize um, that the scanner's taking a second to load the sentiment data. But yeah, let's, to your question, Lee, let's go ahead and delete that. So let me go ahead and do that right now. This trade manager, go ahead and close the pending order. Okay, perfect. Awesome. So I like this one, guys. If you guys are itching to take more trades, the second trade I would take, if I had to post another signal right now, this one looks pretty dang good. It really does. It might actually be better than the NZD CAD. It's kind of sixes actually. So you could buy at market if you wanted to get into the CAD yen. Um, but your stop loss is going to have to be bigger. You're going to need a stop loss that's either here or here to accommodate this, which means if you want to have a good RR ratio, you're going to need to target something like at least that. Okay. At least that to make it a good RR ratio. Ideally, if we can get the market to dip into, say, this area, that would be ideal. And it might. We would need a little bit of a dip into here. Um, um, that would be pretty good. Something like that. So this is a pretty good um this is a pretty good little trade. If you want to take this one. So I like it. Yeah, oil seems to be dropping now. Yeah, thank goodness, right? It was going up quite a bit yesterday. Yesterday was carnage with oil. When I say carnage, it went up the other way. I was expecting to move down. But yeah, that's kind of how it's been with oil recently. Last couple of weeks when we've had signals with oil, it's either immediately in your favor or it's immediately against you, and then by the end of the week you get your move. Um, yeah, it hasn't been like some of these forex pairs that have been so good to us, like the pound yen last week, pound Aussie last week, pretty dollar yen last week. All of those ones just went straight in our favor with really no resistance, no detours. It was just clear cut move in your favor all week, right? This week's been a little bit more tough, I'll be honest. A little bit more tough than so, and we kind of knew it was coming. I think we kind of knew it. We had such good moves with the market. But like I said, it there's definitely a way for this to be a good week, with the euro yen coming down, CAD yen going up. We've got the NZD CAD coming down. Yeah, I think there's definitely a way for us to see a profitable week. Right. Yeah, you would expect it to go up, right? But I mean, how many news events have you seen where rates go up and then the currency goes down, right? It's just like never like you I mean, how many times have you seen a stock? Same thing with stocks. How many times has like earnings come out on a stock and they're really good earnings and the stock goes down, right? Like it just doesn't make sense, right? Who knows why? I don't understand why that. Um, yeah, I can take a look. Yeah, if oil goes up, that means CAD will be strong. That's right. Um the thing is it's US against oil. Like it's US dollar against oil. So keep that in mind. But let's take a look at NZD JPY real quick. So you're looking to buy this. Okay. Yeah, let's take a look. Let's kind of analyze this. So the thing that comes to mind like recently when we look at a 15-minute chart is obviously it's been coming down. That's the first observation. The next observation is kind of, yeah, I guess that's the trend right there. But then it is making this is a lower low, but the market is slowing down in its approach making these lower lows, right? Um, right. So there's a pretty big gap in between here and here. Here, let's pretty big gap in between here and here. And then the gap between here and here is not as big. So that's a good thing. That's called slowing momentum. It did come into this demand zone right here and did bounce out of it. That's a good thing. Um, I'm not a big fan that this is a lower high than this apex high over here. I mean, what's your time horizon on this NZD? Yeah, and like how long do you want to hold it for? So I mean, so here's how I do a lot of trades. You guys see me do this too. I like to wait for the structure to break first, and then I like to get in on the pullback. So when it pulls back after the structure break, this is where I like to buy and then try to jet out of there after that. That's what I like to do. Um, so you're gonna hold till Friday. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if I had to pick a direction, that's probably the direction I would go. But as you know, like I said, I would probably wait for it to actually break this structure first. If it does indeed break this trend line right here, I would say, yeah, you've got the green light. Oh, you got it. Oh, yeah, you got it 89,800. Oh, nice. Yeah, you got in a really good price down here. Very, very good. Well, yeah, just throw your stop loss at break even. I would do that, Mohammed. Just throw your stop loss at break even now. You've earned that right with that such good entry. Throw your stop loss at break even, and then um you could take half your profits if you wanted now because you did get a pretty good entry. But like I said, if this does break out of this um trend line right here, um you're probably going to see that make even bigger highs. Nice work. Nice work. That's pretty awesome. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna leave that NZD CAD trade to go. And obviously it was a pending order. We got all of our other weekly trades going. So let's just see how everything plays out. And we'll kind of recap again tomorrow. Same thing. Tomorrow we do have, let's see, real quick before we get out of here, just want to show you the lineup of classes tomorrow. Wednesdays we typically have a lot of classes. So if you take a look at the calendar, we're going to have live trading in the morning. Tomorrow night, there's always going to be a COT report every Wednesday. That's at 9 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow's prop firms. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to talk and review prop firm accounts. Some of you guys have already sent me stuff over the last several weeks that I've been working on. So we'll present that tomorrow. If you guys have a specific prop firm you want me to review, definitely get that to me today so that I can finish working on that slideshow. Yeah, definitely hit me up with your prop firms. All right, guys. Well, appreciate each one of you. Thank you for coming. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll see you guys in the next webinar.